What if you could disappear overnight, leaving no trace behind? That would mean vanishing completely, starting an entire life again somewhere else. In Japan, this isn't just a fantasy. Known as the Johatsu, or evaporated people, they mysteriously vanish from their lives. Why do they disappear? Where do they go? And how do they survive? Were they taken or did they leave voluntarily? Let's head into the underground world of the Johatsu and uncover the chilling truth behind these vanished souls. But before we jump in, some of the details in these stories are disturbing and may not be suitable for all audiences, so viewer discretion is strongly advised. As always, remember to hit the like button, share the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on post notifications to stay up to date with the channel. Alright, let's dive into the video. Every year, countless Japanese citizens choose to go down this dark and mysterious path, leaving behind their lives to escape unbearable shame, financial ruin, or personal crisis. That's because in Japan, the weight of societal pressure is intense, with a high value placed on reputation, honor, and conformity. Many choose to vanish because of the shame of job loss, debt, or failing to meet family expectations. Take Norihiro, an engineer who lost his job but couldn't bear to tell his family. Each morning he dressed in his work clothes, kissed his wife goodbye, and drove off, as if to give the illusion of heading to work. Instead, he spent his days sitting in his car, stewing in his failure. This charade continued until his money ran out, and with no salary to keep up the pretense, Norihiro was forced to make a drastic decision. He disappeared into the shadows, vanishing into Sanya, a place so stigmatized it had been erased from Tokyo's maps. This district, shunned by taxi drivers and known as a refuge for the forgotten and nameless, became his new reality. The fear of shame in Japan is so powerful it often feels worse than death. In a society where quitting a job is seen as a deep dishonor, vanishing becomes a tempting escape from humiliation. This is especially true for those facing domestic violence, financial ruin, or personal disgrace. The crushing weight of societal expectations drives many to disappear rather than confront their reality. Japan's culture is steeped in stories of vanishing. From a young age, children hear tales of kamikakushi, or being spirited away. These stories often tell of people who disappear due to supernatural forces, only to return with strange marks, proof of their otherworldly encounters. This cultural backdrop makes the phenomenon of Johatsu even more intriguing. It's as if the act of vanishing is a thread woven into the tapestry of Japanese folklore, where reality and myth blend seamlessly. But how do people even carry out the act of disappearing completely? Vanishing as though they never existed in the first place? The secret can be found in night-moving companies. Disappearing in Japan isn't easy. For those desperate to vanish, yonigeya or fly-by-night shops offer a lifeline. These businesses specialize in orchestrating disappearances, often under the cover of darkness. Miho Saita, the CEO of Yonigeya TS Corporation, once escaped her violent husband by vanishing herself. Now she helps others do the same, arranging secret moves and providing new identities. Her company charges between 50,000 yen or $450 and 300,000 yen or $2,600, depending on the complexity. Services include setting up dummy cell phone contracts and redirecting mail, ensuring the vanished can start anew without a trace. For many, these companies are the only way out of a life filled with unbearable pressures. But where do these disappeared people go? How do they continue to survive? They actually have their own hidden society. Those who vanish often seek refuge in places like Sanya, a Tokyo neighborhood scrubbed from official maps. It's a shadowy world where the Johatsu can live without fear of being found. Controlled by the Yakuza, the area offers a semblance of order in an otherwise chaotic existence. Sanya is often referred to as a ghost neighborhood, where the marginalized and the vanished coexist away from the prying eyes of society. But what's life as a Johatsu really like? Life as a Johatsu is far from glamorous. Most live in tiny, grimy hotel rooms with few comforts. Jobs are scarce, and many end up doing hard, low-paying labor. For some, it's a temporary escape. For others, it's a permanent new beginning. These individuals often work in cash-in-hand jobs that don't require identification or background checks, further enabling their anonymity. But it would be wrong not to think of the families left behind by the disappeared. The families of the Johatsu face their own torment. Reporting a missing person in Japan is complicated due to strict privacy laws and the taboo surrounding the phenomenon. Take the case of Naori, a young man who disappeared in 2002. Even after his family's desperate search and public appeals, he remains missing. His story shows the pain and helplessness felt by those left behind. The emotional and psychological toll on these families is immense, often leaving them in a perpetual state of grief and uncertainty. But not everyone leaves voluntarily. Some leave in various states of mystery, making it impossible to tell whether they're dead or alive. Organizations like the Missing Persons Search Support Association of Japan believe the number of Johatsu is far higher than official reports suggest. Private detectives play a crucial role in finding the vanished, often dealing with complex cases of debt, family breakdowns, or cult escapes. These detectives use a variety of methods, from surveillance to undercover operations, to track down those who have disappeared. The search is often a delicate and dangerous game, shrouded in secrecy and filled with unexpected twists. Unfortunately, the mystery of Johatsu isn't limited to adults. Our first case takes us to Hirugano Kogen Campground in Gujo, Japan. Manami Shinomura, a 10-year-old girl, disappeared during a school outing. Born with a heart condition and Down syndrome, Manami required adult assistance for many tasks. Despite these difficulties, she was a bright and cheerful child who loved to sing and dance. On July 23, 2009, Manami joined her classmates from Tokonami Nishi Elementary School on a trip to Hirugano Kogen Campground. The campsite was closed to the public, ensuring a safe environment for the children. But on the morning of July 24th, Manami was seen lagging behind her friends on a trail. When her friends returned without her, panic set in. Despite an extensive search involving hundreds of volunteers and police, no trace of Manami was ever found. The lack of footprints, belongings, or any evidence of an animal attack left investigators baffled. Her mother's relentless search and the community's involvement highlight the deep impact of such disappearances. The most popular theory behind Manami's disappearance is that she wandered off into the wilderness. Given her frail health, it's hard to imagine how she could have traveled far. Some speculate that she may have been taken by someone who managed to evade detection, but the truth remains a mystery. Manami's case shows the vulnerability of children to this underground world and the profound grief experienced by their families. Real quick, if you are enjoying the video so far, please remember to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Now back to the video. The story of Kenji Aomori is another chilling one. In 1984, Kenji disappeared while hiking Mount Asahidake. Years later, a massive SOS sign made from birch logs was found, but Kenji was not the one who created it. When Kenji was found, he was in a small hole with various personal items, including a tape recorder with a desperate message. The mystery of who created the SOS sign remains unsolved, adding to the eerie nature of his disappearance. This incident showed the desperation and isolation felt by those who vanish, often leaving behind cryptic messages or clues. Media coverage of the Johatsu phenomenon often swings between fascination and skepticism. Documentaries and articles highlight the stories of those who have vanished, sometimes sensationalizing their plight. Public perception is equally divided. Some view the Johatsu as cowards escaping their responsibilities, while others see them as victims of an unforgiving society. This split in perception further complicates the efforts to understand and address the phenomenon. Many in Japan doubt the accuracy of reports like those from journalist Lena Mauger, who claim nearly 100,000 Japanese people vanish each year. Critics argue that stories of places like Sanya, described as secretive and shameful, are exaggerated. Charles McGilton, a longtime resident, describes Sanya as more of a budget district than a hidden enclave of the disappeared. He suggests that some elements of these stories might be more fantasy than fact. This skepticism adds another layer of intrigue to the already mysterious phenomenon of Johatsu. In the modern age, technology plays a dual role in the Johatsu phenomenon. On one hand, it offers tools for surveillance and tracking, making it harder for people to disappear. On the other hand, the digital world provides new avenues for anonymity. Some Johatsu use technology to create false identities, engage in online work, or even stay connected with their previous lives without revealing their true whereabouts. But how does the government respond to all this? Do they just let people disappear on their own? The Japanese government has faced criticism for its handling of the Johatsu phenomenon. Strict privacy laws protect individuals, to the point where families and authorities struggle to track down missing persons unless a crime is suspected. Efforts to create a unified database of missing persons have been met with resistance due to concerns over privacy and the stigma associated with disappearing. This legal framework often leaves families feeling helpless and unsupported. The phenomenon of people vanishing isn't unique to Japan. Around the world, individuals disappear for various reasons, including escaping violence, avoiding legal consequences, or simply starting over. But the cultural and societal context of Johatsu in Japan makes it distinct. The deep-seated values of honor and shame, coupled with stringent privacy laws, create a unique environment where the act of vanishing becomes a viable, albeit extreme, option. The psychological toll on those who choose to disappear is immense. Living in constant fear of being discovered, enduring the loneliness of a hidden life, and grappling with the guilt of abandoning loved ones can lead to severe mental health issues. Many Johatsu suffer from depression, anxiety, and other psychological conditions, worsened by their isolated existence. Mental health support for these individuals is scarce, making it even harder for them to reintegrate into society. But not all the stories of Johatsu end in despair. Some individuals manage to rebuild their lives, finding new purpose and happiness. These stories, though rare, offer a glimmer of hope. For instance, some Johatsu find solace in remote communities, where they are accepted without judgment. Others reconnect with their families after years of separation, leading to emotional reunions and healing. But there's a bigger reason that drives so many Japanese people to choose to disappear and be entirely alone. Economic instability often drives people to vanish. During a financial crisis, the number of Johatsu increases as individuals struggle with mounting debts and unemployment. The economic downturns of recent decades have seen a surge in disappearances, showing the link between financial despair and the act of evaporating. But with other cases, it's really hard to tell if there was a crime committed or just a disappearance strategically carried out, especially when it comes to disappeared children. Another heart-wrenching case is that of Saya Manami, a 7-year-old girl who vanished in Matsudo, a city in the Chiba prefecture. On September 23, 2022, Saya left home on her pink scooter, only to disappear without a trace. Her mother followed shortly after, but Saya had already vanished. Her scooter was later found in a neighboring city, and her socks and shoes were discovered on the banks of the Edo River. Despite extensive search efforts, Saya's body was found in the river days later, her cause of death determined to be drowning. Saya's case is particularly chilling. The discovery of her scooter in a different park and her socks and shoes by the river suggested foul play. Her body was found after a typhoon, miles from where she disappeared. This case shows the vulnerability of children and the profound impact of such disappearances on their families and communities. The media plays a crucial role in shaping how the public views the Johatsu phenomenon. High-profile cases often receive extensive coverage, drawing attention to the plight of the disappeared and their families. But media sensationalism can also lead to misinformation and stigma. Balanced and responsible reporting is essential to foster understanding and empathy for the Johatsu and their loved ones. Community support structures can help prevent disappearances. Social isolation is a significant factor that drives individuals to vanish. Building strong community networks, offering mental health support, and creating safe spaces for those in distress can help alleviate the pressures that lead to Johatsu. Grassroots organizations and local initiatives have been vital in providing support and resources to vulnerable individuals. The Johatsu phenomenon in Japan is often compared to the missing 411 cases in North America, where people vanish under mysterious circumstances. Both share a sense of unresolved mystery and a profound impact on families. But the cultural, societal, and legal contexts differ greatly, influencing how and why these disappearances occur. Understanding these differences can provide deeper insights into the causes and potential solutions for these baffling phenomena. As Japan evolves, the Johatsu phenomenon will also change. Technological advancements, shifting societal values, and evolving legal frameworks will shape the future of these disappearances. Addressing the root causes, such as societal pressure, economic instability, and lack of mental health support, will be crucial in reducing the incidence of Johatsu. Continued research, awareness, and policy changes are essential to tackling this complex issue. In recent years, several initiatives have emerged to tackle the mysterious Johatsu phenomenon. The Missing Persons Search Support Association of Japan works tirelessly to find vanished individuals and reunite them with their families. In 2019, the Japanese government made significant changes to the Basic Act on Crime Victims, offering better support for the families of missing persons and improving coordination between law enforcement agencies. A gripping 2020 documentary, Evaporated: The Vanished People of Japan, by NHK, went deep into the lives of the Johatsu. It revealed why they disappear and how it affects their families, sparking intense public debate on societal pressures and mental health. The phenomenon of Johatsu is a haunting reminder of the pressures and challenges faced by many in modern society. It's a silent scream for help, a desperate act of escape from an unendurable life. While the reasons behind these disappearances vary, the pain and mystery they leave behind are universal. Understanding and addressing the Johatsu phenomenon requires empathy, awareness, and a commitment to supporting those in distress. So, do you think you could disappear like this? Let us know in the comments below, if you have made it this far. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video and want to see more, then check out these videos on the screen now. If you have a topic suggestion, please send it to the email in the description. And as always, remember to like, comment, share the video, and subscribe to our channel. I will see you in the next one.